G'day folks, we're going to start on the carb conversion. This is my gas 650 blow through, and we're going to convert it to E85 compatible. And in the last vid I showed you the kit I got, so yes. That's another way of telling too, guys, of if it's a blow through. These are sort of equalizer holes, so you equalize the pressure onto the throttle plate so we don't get any leakage, or helps with any leakage. And yeah, it's been a good carb, this. I've had this probably 6 years, and it's never leaked on me on the sides of the shafts or anything. It's been a terrific carb, it really has. I hadn't touched any of the idle screws or anything. I've played around with the jetting on it, but that's it. That's all I've really done with it. I haven't it was pretty good straight out of the box for what I needed. It's fantastic. All right, guys, let's start on it, and we'll start pulling things apart. That's what it says on the instructions. Just to start, pull the bowls off. So we'll get into it. I'm trialling these new gloves, nitro strength they call them. They seem to be a bit better than the blue ones I was using. Don't tear as easy, so a little bit dearer of course, and that's always the case. I've had this apart a few times over the years just to clean it out and check on things. Pull these out because we're going to use them again. I tell you what, that E85 smells sweet. I had a little bit in it when I had it running, and it's a beautiful smell. Great little carb. See the bowls there, you've got the float sights on it. It's a lovely carb. Alright, so we'll sit that over there. This might not be the correct way to undo the metering block. But it worked last time. Sticky gaskets. So I think we're running a 72 jet, and we've got to put 92s in it. So it's a big step, huge step. There you go, you can see the difference there, guys. In the metering block as it comes up to the boosters. You can see the holes on that. They're quite considerably larger than the yeah, and we look like we've got some different positions on, I'm not sure what they call these ones here, emulsion, yeah, not sure. Alright, so that's the front one, we'll keep that up there. Obviously we're not going to need the gasket anymore, so see if we can get that off without damaging it. It's always nice to reuse. If you get desperate and break, split one, you've still got a spare one. Get you out of a pinch. Alright, we got that off. That took a little bit of doing. Okay, so we've got it down to the main body of the carb. We'll do the secondary removal. This has been really a faultless carby from day dot. It's been incredible. I've only cleaned it out a few times. It's been rock solid. It's good on the air fuels. It's been very consistent. On the rich side, I would have said. It's been a great carb, this quick fuel. Let's do one more in. Geez, I'm excited about doing this, guys. I really am. Switching to e85. I don't know why I didn't do it years ago. I'll never know why I never made the move sooner. Okay, so we've got the jet extensions down there, which we're going to need. And I think these may need a little drill out, so I'll have a look at them first and see how they are for inside diameter. So we can get this one off. So we've got no power valve on that one, or no spot for it. Keep it over there. We'll see how we go with this gasket. I might have the same problem. The other one was really stuck on. Hopefully this one will come off a little bit easier. Maybe not. No. Alright, I'll skip that. Alright, well that one come off pretty easy actually. Wasn't too bad at all. What I was saying earlier, guys, if in the other video, the only trouble if I'm going to have with this carb, it may be the booster, like the size on the inside that feeds the fuel. It might be a restriction. There's something I'm going to have to really take note of this when I'm sort of playing around with the carb and keeping an eye on the lambda, is to make sure if it is running a little bit lean as I creep up on boost, you know, start to build it with the throttle, this could be an issue. I've just got to be aware of it, that's all. So worst case scenario, if it does run a bit lean out on top, there's other options. We may not have to change these. I know from experience the vent tube extensions work very well in richening up your fueling, but we'll see. We may need to get some new boosters that have got a little bit larger on the inside to let more fuel in. So it's something to think about anyway as we're tuning, and just be aware of it. Alright, I might, my next little step, I might take these out and swap them over. I'm going to run, for now, the bigger ones. I've got 2 sets here, but I want to try them, but I'm going to use George's screws that he sent. But I'm going to use my little squirters just for now to run with that, and we'll see how that runs. And if it is a little bit fat, we can always downsize to the next size. Oh, they seem a bit loose. There wasn't much on those. I haven't had these off yet. Wow. Geez, they're loose. I'm not sure if they're supposed to be like that, but anyway, I thought it's just a snug, that tiny little bit more would have been nice. I think that's in the camera. What are they? Can we see that in the camera? This thing's got a hard time focusing, you know, up close. I'll get the magnifying glass out. What we got? 33s. Well, there we go. George has sent me 37s and I've got 45s. Let's compare these little screws that hold the squirters on. Let's compare them to what's the other ones I got. You can see visually, you know, sizing differences. Oh yeah, yeah, look at that. I don't even have to read that. I can see that is quite a different. See if that's on the camera. Zoom in. The one on the top, this one here, it's quite a ways bigger. You can just see it there. Do this little trick here. A lot of people do that. There you go, look at that. It's quite a ways bigger, that one. Thank you, George. Done well there, mate. Done beautiful. So we'll use them ones you sent, George, but I'm going to use my little squirters just to test them and see how I get on with them. So keep the 33s over there and I'll pop them on. Alright. Right, I've got one on there. I'll do the other one. We've got a washer. Yeah. Make sure we get this on camera for you guys. We've got a washer, top and bottom. And then not too much, just snug them down. That's it. Alright, okay, so that part's done. We might shift our attention now to the metering blocks. So we'll bring them over in position. We on camera there? Okay, so bring it over this way a little bit. Here we go. So let's put a power valve in. We'll go from there. Alright, I've got that one in. I'll put the other one in. I'm not sure if any of the blow-through guys are using the rear power valve. Anyway, it's blocked off for now. Alright. Let's take the jets out of this one because we need to check the jet extensions to make sure we've got a bit of circumference there. So I think I was running 78s in the rear, so 72s and 78s, which I was running in. The reason I went down a few jet sizes in this one on the secondary was because I was running the water methanol and it was getting a little bit rich on the air fuels, and I went down a few sizes and it made a difference. I've got huge huge holes there. So I'm not sure if I'll bother with that, to be honest. Where's the 100? Well, having said that though, look at that. That's interesting. Yeah, it's quite a ways bigger. I think I might leave it for now. Drilling this out, I think it's quite a ways bigger than the 100 jet. So, all right, we'll take this one out, swap it over. The jet extensions are for, the idea is when you accelerate, because they're on the rear, these are on the rear bowl, so as it accelerates forward, it grabs the fuel, extends the jet towards the back of the bowl. So we're not going to, if we had it up the front or had no jet extension, we'd run the risk of, under hard acceleration, of actually just not getting any fuel, picking up air. So you don't want that. So the theory behind the extension, jet extension, is to position it so it's always in the fuel. So it's a really good idea, actually. So that's my secondary. I'm going to be sure of that one. We'll put the 100 jets in. Can't read it. Geez, they're hard to see, these jets, the markings on them. I couldn't read the 100, I had to confirm it with the 92s. So, magnifying glass there, and just, it wasn't a good stamp. Rightio, got that done. Let's do the primary side. Put our 92s in this side. I mean, this is just going to be ballpark. I may have to go up or down in size depending, but I'm not going to fuss too much if it's a little bit on the rich side. It's not all about fuel economy or getting it perfect. But remember too, guys, circuit racing is a lot different to drag racing, where sustained temperatures creep in after time. So that tune, that fat tune that you had or you've got, is paying dividends once things get really hot and prolonged driving comes into your favour. All right, so we've got that done now. So next job is I might muck around and put these little things in. So this is the primary bowl. We've got to remove these so we can put in the new E85 compatible ones. Let's take this off and have a little look at it. I've got those little washers off, just they were stuck on there. What I'm going to do with the new ones, I'll just put them on the bolts. So I'll do that now. Thread them on there. And we've got 8 of them to do. Pop them on. Alright, on the last one. Alright. Now I know these, if you can can see them if they're in the camera there. I'll bring them forward. I've got all the washers left over there. So I know these 4 here are for the squirters. The other ones, George supplied me with some, so I've used his. So we've got them extra. We'll keep them over there. So that's there. Let's pull this apart now. This is the accelerator pump. So we're doing the primary side first. We'll see how that is. I've never pulled these apart before. What have we got here? It's like brand new still, you know. All this is still like new. Look at that. It's just be interesting to note. I don't know how you can tell if they're bigger or smaller. To me, that looks the same size. To me, that looks like there's no difference. Looking at that, I could be wrong, but we'll put the new one on anyway. We'll use that. Yeah, interesting. So what have we got here? I can't remember which way that went. Alright, I've got confirmation. Yeah, I forgot which way that went, you know. Goes that way. Looks like a little bit of corrosion creeping in there, guys. Tiny little bit. Alright, well I'll do that in a sec. But yes, it goes this way. So, that way. Yep, alright, looks pretty clean. No dirt or crap in there. That way. Yep, that's right. It's not easy filming, guys, and doing things that you've never done before. You know, sort of trying to keep my concentration up, but sort of make it interesting too. They weren't too tight, these. Just snug. Yeah. Alright, I'll do the other one. Alright, I've just pulled out the needle and seat on this one, and it says, this is the new one, that's a 130, and this one here's a 130, so no difference. But I'll put the new ones in anyway, just for the sake of it. So all I did, guys, was it's pretty simple. Was just screw it out. Looks pretty clean in there. Popping back in. It's 5/16. Wind it back in, and I know roughly where the float height is. I've got a reference before I pull it apart. It's down a little bit. Maybe a fraction more. Leave it. It was barely above. It's pretty close. Yep. So it was about a mil above the top there. Alright, so what we do now is we need some washers. We'll replace them, and they're the same. The washers are no different. Like a little neoprene plasticky looking washer. So we've got a smaller one and we've got a larger one, and the larger one obviously goes on that part there, and this goes down on top. Oh, hang on, sorry, we've got this nut to go first, and that's what adjusts your fuel height. You back off the nut or the bolt on top, and you just turn the nut and that adjusts. So when you wind it, if you're looking at it that way, clockwise, is obviously it's going to give your float level a little bit lower. If you back it out, you're lifting your float level up. So I was happy sort of where it is there. I'll monitor it once I first get it going, and I can always tweak it. There we go. It's pretty straightforward really. That was about the height. Like I said, I can adjust it once I get fuel pressure up. That's the first thing I'll do, make sure my float level's good. I'll just back this one out so you see. Oh, it's tight. That is a snug. Oh, can't undo that one. Wow, that was crazy tight. I got it though. It was just over the top. I made a little boo-boo, guys, and you probably picked it up, the sharp ones. I just realised when I did this up on the primary, I never tightened up the nut. That's a sort of a locking nut. We would have had a little bit of weeping coming out of this. So let's just give it a little nip. Like I said, guys, I'm not an expert, but I did pick that up. So we'll give that a little nip. Try and just get a little bit on it. Oh, hang on. What's going on? Let's have another look at it. It's looking like, that's interesting. I've run out of, oh no. All right, okay. You idiot, Jason, you idiot. Oh, dear. It's not a nut, it's only, see there, it's just an adjuster. Oh dear. All right. Only human, we'll make mistakes. Right, there we go. Yep. Like I said, I can adjust it. Right, that's my primary side. Okay, we'll swap this one out. You can see there the float height, it's fairly shallow, it's not much sticking through. It's funny, you know, I didn't want, it's actually a whisker below half on the gauge. I found it was a little bit much when it was up a bit, the float level, but it's just on that lower part of the arrow there, and hence why I've had to sort of go down fairly well, because I remember years ago it was not liking it for some reason. It was just a bit too much fuel in the bowl. Better double check this one and see what we're running here as well. It should be 130 the same. Yep, we'll put a new one in though. Alright, I'll pop that in and we can assemble the carb. Alright, now let's put on the primary side first. I'll show you that, I've just put in these little, what do they call them? Little breather extenders. Okay, so we've got our jets in, we've got our power valve in. Time to put the gasket on. There we go, only goes one way. Nice. Pop him on. Metering block. In position. Okay, so we've got the bowl. We need a gasket for that. I'm not sure which way that goes. I'm thinking, what have we got? Looking at it there. To me that looks like the top. Yep. No, it doesn't seem to want to. Oh yes. Goes there, yep, goes in, nice, fits in there nice by the look of it. Those little, I like them the way they sort of fit in there like that. Have a look at that. Hang on a minute. Doesn't seem to want to. There we go. That's a go of them. Oh no, I reckon I've got that upside down, guys. I'll just check it again. You can feel the gasket wasn't fitting nice. I reckon I'll put that, yeah, it's upside down. I'll put it that way. Yeah, that looks better. Here we go. That's better. Yep, nice. Put the gasket on the other side. Holes. Looks pretty good to me. So pop him on. Alright. Put our screws in. We've got our washers on too, our new washers. Make sure we got them on. We're going to flick our pump around, our mechanism, and we just, there we go. Nice. First things first, when you hook it all up, you'll have to just check the leaks and fuel bowl height, float level, and just make sure it's all, nothing's coming out of it, and the float level is good. And we proceed from there. I may have to do a lot, well there's going to be I think a lot of little fiddly stuff. I was talking to George and he mentioned we may need to change the air bleeds on it. once we get further into the tuning side. But this is going to be the start, and basically see how it runs at this and just go from there, guys. That's basically it. I don't like too much on these, just a little bit. Just make sure they all sort of nip up. I may nip them again in the next hour or two once they sort of crush. Repeat on the other side. Well, there you go, folks. One converted gas carb to E85. That was my first time diving into it fairly well. It's not that technical. I mean, you just got to follow the instructions, and I've watched a few videos. Other people have put some videos up on how to do it, and yeah, done. I suppose there's going to be more fine tuning as we go along, like I said earlier, but it gets me going and it's a start. It's fantastic. The kit cost me $495 versus you either buy a new carb in Australian dollars, you're looking at around anywhere from around $1,200 to $1,400. So for basically a bit under 500 bucks and a little bit of time, you can sort of convert it yourself. You've got all your other bits if you ever want to go back to pump fuel, so it's just a matter of swapping it back over. That's fantastic. All right, guys, well, I'll do a video on the startup, and we'll see how it all sort of runs with the air fuel and how it likes it. Oh, geez, it's exciting. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this one. Probably went on a little bit, but it's good fun. This is really good fun, and I love this sort of stuff. All right, folks, I'll catch you later.